we have Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. And this is going to be Kayla Harrison's UFC debut, obviously. Holly Holm, the preacher's daughter. I mean, we all know about her. She is 15-6. She is coming off that no contest against Mayo Bueno Silva, where she was, choked out, but they called it a no contest because Bueno Silva tested positive for like some Ritalin or something. So I guess they called it a no contest, but she did get choked out in that second round. Kayla Harrison, 16-1, 4-1 in her last five, and she's coming off that decision victory over Aspen Ladd, who also fought in the UFC. So moving on to the odds, and this is it's gonna get juicy here. I mean, Kayla Harrison is now a minus 435. She opened up at a minus 375. She's pretty juiced as far as a favorite, and I do tend to agree with that line movement. I mean, man, Kayla Harrison, she's a Olympic medalist, right, in judoka, and I have to pick Kayla Harrison in this matchup. I won't have any plays on her because this is literally her UFC debut, right? I mean, that's a little dangerous to trust, especially in the women's division. And she's cutting to 135 after fighting at like 155. I mean, she fought at like 155 in women's MMA. So, this is going to be a pretty big cut for her. Holly is a quintessential UFC vet, especially in the 135 division. She has all the skills that you would want in a former champion. And, lately she's been using just a lot of cage pushing and clinching to win the fight. Now, I believe that the difference in this matchup would just be the sheer physicality of an in her prime Kayla Harrison. Holly Holm is 42 years old now. I mean, that's a little up there. I mean, we just saw another former champion take an L in Jermaine Duranami, right? I mean, that was coming off a 3.5 years layoff. But the older you get, you don't get better usually in the UFC and MMA especially. So it just becomes so hard to stay at the top the older you get. And I really feel that Holmes' last loss was the beginning of the end. If this was a few years ago, I think Holm actually would have won her last fight by a wide margin against Bueno Silva, right? But now that we see, she's past her physical prime, I just feel like she's going to be more like prone to the losses where the other opponent is a better athlete than her. I mean, unfortunately, Kayla's going to be the much better athlete, and she's in her prime. And Kayla is a former two-time Olympic gold medalist in judo and has fought regularly in the 150, 155 pound division. I mean, I just think Kayla is going to be able to outbeast Holm from the start and either lay and pray to a decision victory or find a sub. I mean, the things that Holly does well, which is the clinch and the cage push at this point, that's literally going to Kayla Harrison's wheelhouse. So she's going to have to turn back the clock and really fight more of a kickboxing kind of style. And I just don't think she's going to be able to do it at age 42. So yeah, give me Kayla Harrison via decision for now. I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to play Kayla Harrison any place. I mean, there's just too many factors here, too many unknowns for it to be a safe play for me. So yeah, I'm passing on this fight.